This is part 3 of 2 facts on every country in the world. Starting right where we left off with, South Africa has 3 capitals, Cape Town, Pretoria, and Bloemfontein, for their 9 total provinces. The country is also home to the Cape Town Cycle Tour, which is the largest timed bicycle race in the world in which the cyclists are timed individually, unlike the Tour de France, which is a team race. South Sudan is the newest country in the world after having declared its independence on July 9, 2011. It was once a part of Sudan, which we'll get to later. Spain is the only European country to have a physical border with an African country, Morocco. The capital city of Madrid is said to have the oldest restaurant in the world called Casa Butin. Sri Lanka has a literacy rate of 92.38%. It's also home to the world's first female prime minister, and she served as prime minister 3 times before later becoming president. The smallest sovereign state in the Caribbean is St. Kitts and Nevis. It's also the 8th smallest country in the world. People from this country are referred to as Nevisians. St. Lucia is the first country to be named after a woman. The west coast of St. Lucia is a good place for snorkeling or learning to scuba dive in shallow reefs with their very diverse marine life. Continuing on with the saints, we've got St. Martin, but that is still in the Kingdom of the Netherlands, so we'll move on to the next. St. Vincent and the Grenadines consists of the main island of St. Vincent and 32 smaller islands known as the Grenadines. They were under the Queen's rule, but since her passing, King Charles is the head of state of the island now. The 3rd largest country in Africa after Algeria and Democratic Republic of Congo is Sudan. The White Nile and the Blue Nile are 2 tributaries of the Nile, and they merge at the capital of Sudan, Khartoum. Suriname is the smallest independent country in South America. The country has only 1 cinema. Sweden is one of the cleanest countries on the planet. The country also has a 25% VAT rate, or VAT rate, which is one of the highest in Europe. Stockholm has been the permanent capital since 1523. Switzerland hasn't fought in an international war since 1815. The country is also not a member of the European Union. Officially, the Syrian Arab Republic is the country of Syria. The country relies on their agricultural sector for wheat, cotton, barley, lentils, and they raise cattle. They're also a major exporter of crude oil, fruits and vegetables, petroleum, and other commodities. Tajikistan has a capital city of Dushanbe, which translates to Monday in Persian. Drug trafficking has wreaked havoc in the country that was formerly part of the Silk Road. Nearly 30% of Tanzania is national park. About 90% of the population lives in rural areas and live off of what they can grow on the land. Until 1939, Thailand was known as Siam. That is where Siamese cats originated from. About 95% of Thais are Buddhist. In May 2002, Timor-Leste became the 21st century's first new country after gaining independence from Indonesia. That also makes Timor-Leste also Asia's newest country. Togo is home to the world's biggest voodoo market. Kids in the country stay home until they reach 5 years of age and do not enter into any formal education until they cross that age limit. There are various accounts of exiled criminals being sent off alone on boat. That's one way of doing it. Togans also show respect by not looking directly into someone's eyes. Trinidad and Tobago is made up of 2 different islands. One is called Trinidad and one is called Tobago. Trinidad is more of a business travel destination and home to the country's booming oil and natural gas industry. Tobago is generally a resort destination with an old world Caribbean feel. Many parts of the Star Wars movies have been filmed in Tunisia with the exception of Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Tunisia is also home to the 2nd largest museum in Africa named the Bardo National Museum. Turkey, formerly Turkey, is home to Istanbul, the capital city that straddles 2 continents, Europe and Asia. Turkey is responsible for about 75% of the world's hazelnut exports. Melons in Turkmenistan are considered a national treasure and even have their own national holiday, the 2nd Sunday in August. As of 2018, black cars have been banned in Turkmenistan's capital city of Ashgabat. Salt exports from Turks and Caicos began before recorded history. Later on, European exporters would come and collect the salt due to its high quality. Over the last 300 years, Turks and Caicos has been under the control of the Spanish, French, and British. There are no ATMs in Tuvalu, and neither credit nor debit card payments are accepted on the island. The highest point in the entire country is only about 4.6 meters above sea level, meaning that eventually the country may risk being underwater. 8% of the world's mammal species can be found in Uganda. It's also the second largest banana-producing country in the world. Ukraine is home to the second deepest subway station in the world, and it's also one of the largest producers of sunflower seeds. It usually alternates between first and second place with Russia. There are 7 emirates in the United Arab Emirates, with the capital city of Abu Dhabi. One thing you won't find in the UAE is a river. There are no rivers or lakes in this desert country. London, the capital city of the United Kingdom, is one of the oldest in the world and also one of the largest. Despite being traditionally Indian, chicken tikka masala is one of the most popular dishes for UK residents. Despite the majority of people in the United States being able to speak English, there is no official language in the country. The first constitution of the world was from the United States. Uruguay is the second smallest country in South America, but the smallest Spanish-speaking country in South America. The country was also the winner of the first World Cup. Uzbekistan gained its independence in 1991 following the breakup of the Soviet Union. In 2016, the country held its first election since 1991. When it comes to natural disasters, Vanuatu is one of the most dangerous countries in the world. Tanna Island on Vanuatu is home to what is known as the world's most accessible volcano. In 10 minutes, you can get from where your car dropped you off to the fiery crater's rim. Venezuela is about 65% larger than France. Due to hyperinflation from 2013 to 2019, Venezuelans had more than 20 minimum wage increases. Snake wine is a traditional alcoholic beverage that is made by putting whole snakes and herbs into rice wine, and this is also used as a traditional medicine in Vietnam. The most common last name for the Vietnamese population, both in and outside of the country, is Nguyen. Yemen is bordered by Saudi Arabia and Oman. The current Yemeni government does not have any women. Zambia is a huge country that is roughly 3 times the size of the UK. It is also home to the world's largest waterfalls, named Victoria Falls. The country with the world's highest inflation is also the last country on this list, Zimbabwe. For the most part, Zimbabweans call every brand of toothpaste Colgate and every soft drink Coke. And now, that was a little something about every single country on Earth. Thank you for watching Terra Firma Factoids. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe for more videos just like this.